Hi guys! The debut is closer than ever, and today I'll tell you my last predictions before the finale. Before part 2, I made a ranking of my favorites and I said who I thought could debut, but some things changed, especially with Sujung, cause she had high chances of debuting before her mistake in episode 8. For those who don't remember or don't know about it, she made some bad comments and jokes about how I was trying to sing like her and sounding nasal, and the public didn't like it, so that made her drop to last place between Korean votes. With that, she was sure to not debut anymore and she ended up being eliminated in episode 10, together with Juwon. So this time I'll be talking about the possible lineup, my ideal lineup with the scenario we have now, and some final considerations about the future of the group. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and don't forget to like. Thanks! Let's start with the possible lineup, based on votes and the producer's opinion. There are 3 scenarios possible for the decision of the members. The first is they are decided by a majority of votes and only 1 or 2 producers pick. The second scenario is to have 50-50 opinions, so 3 girls enter by votes and 3 by the producers pick. The last one is to have only 1 or 2 picks by votes and the rest chosen by the producers. I think this one is the least possible. I think it will be between 3 and 4 girls chosen by votes, or more. Also based on the last voting we had, in episode 10 they called 3 people by votes and the others by the producers, calling the 3 most voted first. Some say they can make a surprise and be 6 picks by votes and 1 by the producers, making it 7 members, and I even read some theories about it being 8 members. I truly hope it is 7 or 8 because I'm tired of groups with 6 people and the choreography for ILAND looks better with 7 and 8 formation, so. But I think maybe this will only happen if someone the producers wanted a lot doesn't make it, then they would add this person as a surprise member. I had written a whole analysis about the possible debut members, but then today, Sunday, Mnet posted the spoiler for the last voting, and it doesn't go as I thought. I mean, it makes sense, but I thought Koko had more one-pick fans, and her not being between the 6 debut positions changes a little bit of my theory. So let's get through it with corrections. As people say, one-pick voting can change many things, and I'm seeing it happening right now. Since on last voting, for episode 10, Koko was in 4th place, I thought she would rank higher on this last voting, but I guess she isn't the main pick for a lot of people. Now that they published this spoiler, I bet she will rank higher. Mnet probably did this on purpose because it's obvious they want her debuting. So with that, let me continue my theory. Let's use the scenario of 3 or more picks by votes and less PD picks. The most possible lineup will for sure include Jeemin, Jeeun and still, Koko. Jeemin has been ranking first since the beginning by votes, and the producers also like her. It's a high chance she ends up being first again. With the spoiler she is at 2nd place and I think it's because Jonghyun is at risk of not making it, so people divided their votes. Jeeun is also a favorite both by producers and audience, especially Koreans, so her voting numbers will probably be high, and the producers like her too. I think she must be the one ranking first right now, or maybe it's a plot twist and Jonghyun is ranking first? I don't know, but I'm sure she's on the top 3 cause she has a solid fan base. Koko is a surprise because after the part 2 voting she's been ranking high both by votes and by the producers, and it seems she has a lot of votes from Korea, which are worth 50%, but apparently she wasn't the main pick of many people, so now she's currently at 8th in the voting spoiler. I think after this announcement she will go up a little, but even if she doesn't make it, the producers will for sure choose her, unless it's between Sarang and her, then I'm not sure, maybe they make it a 8-member girl group just to have the 2 of them, lol. That doesn't seem impossible to me at this point. Jonghyun is a mystery by now because she ranked 2nd on the voting from episode 10, but now it's a one-pick voting and I don't know if she can beat the Korean one-pick votes for Jeemin and Jeeun, even with her audience growing in Korea after that episode. So if she is a one-pick for a lot of people I think she can be at the top 3 again and enter by votes, or maybe enter in 4th place. If she doesn't make it by votes, she will have to count on the producer's will, and I'm not sure what goes on their minds. I think if they want a master vocal group they should have her too, she is the best technical vocalist there, while Jeeun is the best with emotions, and Fuko seems to be the balance between them, so these 3 together would make it a great vocal line. And speaking about Fuko, she is also a mystery because her votes have been dropping slowly and being replaced with Koko, at least it seemed to be like this, but now Koko is at 8th place so maybe Fuko's one-pick fanbase is stronger. I'm scared for her because even the producers have been ranking her a bit lower, so this is a very complicated situation. I wish she can make it as a 5th position and only the 6th member be chosen by the producers, or maybe the producers wake up and choose her, because it would be completely crazy to not have her there after all the episodes we've watched. But looking at some details, she was already an Mnet's trainee from Girls Planet Survival show, so I think they wouldn't add her there if they didn't want her. She was ranking high since the beginning also, and was the lyricist for IWALI. I think they will add her to the group, unless they've changed their minds abruptly and decided to have only one Japanese, as this one being Koko, which would be such a loss, cause Fuko already seems like an idol. These girls make 5, if they all get in, we have 1 spot left. Honestly, my personal preference for this last position is different from what I think will happen, that's why I'm dividing the video into chapters. Let's talk about the underdog, which would be really surprising, Yuju. I wanted Yuju to be our main rapper, but I think the producers would only add her if there was a 7th member, but now she has chances to enter by votes cause in episode 10 a lot of people were screaming for her and it seems her one-pick fanbase has grown. I hope she can make it, but it's very complicated because one of the other 5 would have to be picked by the producers and maybe they could discard this person, like Jonghoon. If it's Koko, everything would go well because the producers would choose her. It's a bit scary to have only 6 members, I really wanted 7 members cause it would fit so right for me. But anyway, Yuju has chances if by voting, but she is at risk of not making it, and if the producers realize they need a strong rapper it would be a great surprise, but it's less likely than by votes. The most possible people I think can make it instead of her if it gets to the producer's decision are Saebi, Sarang and Mai. Saebi has been confusing me because I was sure she would debut because the producers liked her a lot in the beginning, but now suddenly they've been ranking her lower than other girls. She ranked 7th in episode 9, and she was the 8th survivor in episode 10, with only 2 girls behind her. That's a bit worrying for her. She used to have a lot of votes from the audience too, but it's been dropping, so I think she will have to be picked by the producers, and that's bad because now the producers have new favorites. Sarang is big candidate to make it to the group either by votes or the producer's choice. Her fanbase has been growing, she has Korean support also, and the producers have been ranking her higher by each episode. They compliment her even when she makes mistakes and they created a background story for her with her name, Sarang, which means love, so they seem to like it a lot as a possible marketing thing. I think they will for sure choose her if they get the chance, unless something crazy happens, everything is possible. Mai is still one of the possible choices by the producers. I don't know if she has enough one-pick votes, when looking at it online it seems she has a great fanbase, but since the beginning of the show she hasn't shown that much power on voting, in any category possible, so I don't know if she can make it higher than 6th place. I think she has more chances of being chosen by the producers. Now Gyuri is really a mystery. From episode 8 to 10 the producers have been ranking her higher, choosing her as 6th to survive in episode 10, even higher than Sarang and Saebi, who used to be the producers' favorites. Apart from that, she doesn't seem to have that much one-pick votes, so I think the only way she can be in is by PD picks. Well, based on that, I think some lineups are possible. Maybe we get Jeemin, Jiyeon, Jonghoon, Fuko, Koko and Saebi. This one was the more common one I'm seeing people mentioning. It would be nice because of the vocal line and the friendship trio with Jeemin, Saebi and Koko. Another possible one is we get Yuju instead of Saebi. It would be good cause we would have a great main rapper, and Koko stays as main dancer. Another possible one is they add Sarang as last place. And then there are the possibilities of us mistaking the votes and not getting Jonghoon, Fuko or Koko. Jeemin and Jeeun are guaranteed. If the producers can only choose one person and Koko isn't among the 5, I think they will choose between her and Sarang. But if they really want someone that didn't make it, maybe they make it as a surprise member. I wouldn't mind that much because I prefer it to be more than 6 girls, but I hope they choose wisely. If they choose Gyuri as a PD pick, it will be really unexpected because they've been in love with Sarang and Saebi since the beginning and now even Koko is among their favorites, so she would be a real surprise. But I mean, they chose her as 6th position in episode 10, everything is possible, but it would be crazy cause I think she has less one-pick votes among them all, so like. That brings us to my considerations about the lineup and the girls. I think I'm okay with any of the girls being there, it would be a good lineup and I would expect if 2 things. Number 1, if Jeemin, Jonghoon or Fuko doesn't make it. I mean, it's completely crazy to not have them and they are my main picks, so I would be really sad. And number 2, to have Gyuri instead of some girl I like. She is very talented in singing, but I don't think she fits with the other girls, she seems so much smaller and younger, although she's 1 year younger than Saebi. I just can't think of a different concept of them together with Gyuri that isn't cute or pure, and you can see that in part 2 of Island, where they mostly gave bright concepts to her, and even like that, I didn't really like the Four Walls performance because it's a kind of sexy concept, which is wrong for her age, but they made it bright so they could do well, and even like this I still couldn't picture her being in a group with Fuko, Jeeun, and Jeemin. There are girls that would be good for bright concepts, but I would rather see a group that can do diverse concepts instead, and Jeemin and Jeeun are confirmed to debut, they don't fit cute concepts. They said the group might have similar songs to ILAND, so I don't know what kind of concept we can expect, cause ILAND had 2 different concepts, but I'm hoping for something more mature and powerful because we have Juwon and Jeemin there, they would fit it well. Now let's go to my ranking. Just a quick reminder that this is my personal ranking, so it's completely based on my point of view and you are free to disagree. I always consider other aspects and their talents as well. Number 10, Gyuri. As I said before, she is great at vocals, she really sings very well and almost never gets out of tune, but she just doesn't fit with the other girls. As for teamwork, I think she is still young and can learn much more to debut in a better group that suits her concept. Number 9, Sarang. I think I said this in my previous ranking, but I will repeat it, she is a very good dancer, she's good at singing, she's good at expressions. It's like she's good at everything but she isn't extremely good at one main thing, and now I have one more thing to add, she has been cracking her voice in her performances, except for the last one in episode 10, and sometimes her expression seems to fall a little bit, like there are performances in which she seems natural like Four Walls, and there are the ones where she keeps changing between great and nervous, like La Vie en Rose. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really into her, maybe because the editing tried to push her too much with dramatic editing and that doesn't make a good impression on me. And just a parenthesis here, there were only 3 episodes out of 10 where there wasn't a dramatic editing of her with an almost black and white color and sad music, even when she was doing fine. It's like they wanted to create problems just to show her crying again and appeal to our emotional side. It's very clear she's a producer's favorite, but they exaggerated. I know this is more of an Mnet's thing than herself, but it makes me feel like the other girls handle some situations better. But I know she is talented and she would be fine in the lineup too. She fits with the girls, but if I could choose the lineup this is my order of preference. Number 8, Mai. I know, how can I place Mai before Sarang? Sarang has more fans than Mai, so I know most of you are asking this. I took some time to decide who should come first, but I placed Mai here because she was stable in her performances, delivered good dancing, good expressions, and she is almost like Sarang, good at everything but not extremely good at one main thing. But still, Mai was a leader and she was very good in my opinion. She also learned how to correct some vocal issues very fast with Jeeun in episode 9, and she did well in her last performances, including episode 10, she just didn't have much screen time. I think her facial expressions are very natural also. So since this is the order I would prefer them in the lineup, Mai comes in 8th. She is Japanese. Number 7, Saebi. She is great at facial expressions, but in part 2 she showed different sides of her. Her singing is still good, but her dancing is only great when it's on bright and girly concepts, and this is something we saw in episode 9, with the dance unit. She danced to Money by Lisa, but she couldn't be that powerful there as she was before, since the dance is more like hip-hop and a little boyish. Jeemin had the same issue, but she fixed it and danced well. Saebi did okay, but she wasn't as good as Jeemin as an improvement, so she is not that versatile. Apart from that, she is still very talented because all the girls in this ranking are great, and I would be fine if she is in the lineup because she seems to have a good relationship with the others and she didn't do bad anyways. Number 6, Koko. Koko didn't show much of herself during part 1, it was only in the last test, before part 2 that she shined more. She is a main dancer material, and I think she needs to be the main dancer for the final lineup because we don't have Sujung anymore and I think she is the best at dancing right now. Since she is ranking 6th in my ranking, this would be my lineup for a 6-member group. She still has to work on her vocals though, and her pronunciation, especially if she wants to be a rapper, but if she gets to be the main dancer instead of main rapper, I think it's okay by now. She is also great at facial expressions now, and she has attitude when performing. She is Japanese. Number 5, Yuju. Yuju was one of my picks since the beginning and now that we don't have Yui anymore, it's time for her to be my group's main rapper. Yuju is still the best rapper out there and I think it will be sad if they don't choose her, cause that means the songs won't have rap verses or Koko will do the rap, but it won't be the best fit in a song cause only her will be able to rap, and I think it would look more like a vocal group only. I think having Yuju as main rapper would be great cause then Koko gets to be main dancer and everybody is happy, they can both do rap together, but the main positions aren't all in one person's shoulders. Apart from rapping, Yuju has shown good vocals, dancing and facial expressions, especially in episode 10, she's like an all-rounder. Number 4, Jeeun. Yuju was one of my picks, Jeeun was not, but she improved so much after part 1 that now she's in 4th place to me. Her personality is no longer confusing also, since the episodes have shown more moments of the girls interacting and having fun in part 2, and she even improved her vocals more, which were already good. Now she can do even the highest high notes, at the same time she has that emotional side of her voice, she got better at facial expressions, her dancing was showed a little more, and she even became friends with Jonghyun again. She would be lead vocal. Number 3, Fuko. Fuko was already my pick, she is very versatile, she fits with more mature concepts as well as bright ones. Her strength are vocals, but she's a good leader, has great facial expressions, and she dances well too. She is Japanese, and I think she will be the leader in real life, and if I got to choose she would be our leader too. Number 2, Jonghyun. Our main vocal if I was the one to create the group. Jonghyun's strength is vocals and she is the most technical vocal there, while Jeeun is stronger with emotions. Together, they make a good duo and Fuko is a balance for our vocal line. Jonghyun is actually an all-rounder since she is good at everything, very good. She sings the highest high notes, and she was my pick since the beginning. Number 1, Jeemin. I'm not sure if she will debut as first place, but she is the first place since the beginning and we all know. This is not only because she came from another survival show, but she has proved to be good in many aspects, like being center material, singing, dancing, and having great facial expressions. She had the same issue as Saebi for dancing to hip-hop, but she made it and danced really well after practicing the new style, and also did well when trying a bright concept that she wasn't used to either. She is also a very kind person and even got into some trouble as leader because she wanted to please everybody, but in the end things worked out well. She was my number 1 pick since the beginning and I've been following her since her last survival show, so I'm glad of how ILAND was better than that. With that great and powerful team, I wanted a strong, powerful, and mature concept, something different from nowadays trends. I don't know if this lineup will make it, probably not, but I would be really happy and satisfied if my top 6 made it. It would be the best final lineup I'm seeing in a long time. If one of these girls don't make it, except for my top 3, I think it would still be a good lineup and I'll probably stan. Since I like IWAILI, I hope their songs will be good. That's it for today. What are your theories? What was your ideal final lineup? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Bye.